feeling good?
No, my succulents are
Your
dry.
succulents are dry. Man, I feel so bad for your dry succulents.
Do you feel a little bit in like do you like my dry succulents? Do you feel like any responsibility?
Like they're my dry succulents?
Yeah, like you should help keep your woman's succulents wet.
No, I am embarrassed that my woman can't keep succulents wet, though. It's embarrassing.
I've got 3 kids and they're alive. I don't have anything to prove.
Yeah, but you got dry succulents.
Your woman has dry succulents.
What's up?
Nothing.
What's up with your succulents?
Sassy succulent day.
Yeah, it is sassy succulent day, man. So that little documentary that I was watching on
with the fake people, yes.
Yeah, the fake people. So it was a documentary about whether or not this guy who has this religious practice is a minister or if he's a manipulator. It's like this little Vice documentary.
But if he's a minister, he's like Jesus, right? Because he's healing the ill.
No, I mean prophets healed, and what he's saying is he's healing through God.
Yeah.
You know, like I think like Jesus was able to heal because like technically he was God. I think that's what people try to claim, or at the very least he's the son of God.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and he's like, I can do some things my dad does.
Yeah. I guess we should there should be room for the belief in prophets, right?
I mean, why not? In one hand, and you know, but so the whole thing is like about his credibility, you know. Yeah. And Rich Vera is his name. That's what I was looking up for a second. I'm sorry, I was a little distant while I was also talking, but I'm back now.
Okay.
I'm back. Actually, I might heal these succulents.
Yeah.
I might wet these succulents like through God.
Yeah.
I might be able to do. I'm not. We'll see. We'll see if I catch a good vibe in the hit like through this podcast. I'm gonna touch these succulents and they're gonna be wet. I'm gonna wet these succulents.
Let's see it happen.
So this whole documentary is about whether or not he is a real or fraud, right?
Sure.
And you know, it's one of those things. Like, is he doing what he's saying he's doing? You know, is he healing these people? Like, they had this one guy get up there and he was like, I got Crohn's disease, and he was like, you know,
that's
saw
a good
it.
one. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one to be like, you're healed, dude.
But it's also an easy thing. Like, if he is a fraud and if that guy was in on it, it's easy to be like, I have something you can't see.
That's what I'm saying. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the perfect illness. Like you can't go up there and be like, I got a broken knee.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you can't go up there and be like, I'm ugly.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes.
Got this horrible skin disease.
Yeah. So, you know, I get what you're saying, but you can to a degree, because that's what the charlatans used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
They would go as far as to have somebody in a cast and be like, I'm healed now. You know, like throw their crutches to the side and start walking.
Right. Yeah.
So
you can do that.
You can do that.
You can.
Right. So, you know, the whole thing is about whether or not this is a credible guy. So I'm just listening and watching this to see if I can decide if he's credible through his passion, because even if it's psychosomatic, right? Meaning that he is like basically hypnotizing these people and then using the power of the human mind to make them believe it so much that it becomes true.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even if it is that, then it's real. Like if it is resulting in real results because of mental manipulation, it's still resulting in real results.
Right.
So, but then there's, you know, of course, the chance that it's just all fake and manipulated, period, and the people are in on it. There's also always that possibility.
Right, because a lot of times with those religious type of people, you see them create these large churches where a lot of people come and they donate a lot of their money, and then this religious person is living this high on the hog lifestyle that's like makes you start looking at them like, really, is this what God would want you to do with this money? Yeah,
and that's another thing. It's like, you know, when you start getting that money and you feel that stream coming in, does that make you more of a believer? Does that make you more passionate? Does this give you more ability to become one with all this shit?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never reached those levels, right? So I'm just trying to get a read on this guy, right? And he's talking about, the recent circumstances with a certain little virus, right? And he's like, well, we didn't close down at all.
Yeah.
We stayed open. As a matter of fact, after the initial close down, we stayed open for 90 straight days. We had worship for 90 straight days.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why those other pastors went and hid is the way he described it.
Hid.
They went and hid is because they're wimps.
Oh.
right? And of course he has this like really cool Cuban accent that I can't.
Yeah.
Like, if I could do a Cuban accent, I would still not do it because his accent was that fucking cool. He sounded so cool. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right.
It was like the slickest accent you ever heard. And it was, dude, it was like just, like say if there's a midline of accent where it's like Americanized and then still to their traditional tongue, right? The meter was like towards traditional tongue. It was cool.
I feel like it's the accent, like any guy who wanted to try to pull off a fake accent to pick up a girl. Like that's what he wants to sound like.
Oh my God, that's what she wants him to sound like.
Maybe more that, yeah.
Yeah, good God.
Like when we role play, can you sound like that?
I want to sound like that. I'm trying to sound like that. So I'm going to watch this video again. I'm going to get this voice down. I'm going to get it down for us, for our relationship, for the future. So, but I'm just trying to, get a read on this guy and where he stands. And he's talking about that. And he goes, and this is the thing that he said that I liked. He says, because if they're willing to shut down for this little, virus.
His words, right?
Right? Yeah, for this little virus. And he used the word little.
Yeah.
But he used the name, and I'm tired of saying the name.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with it.
Oh,
This is my stance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know you were taking. Okay.
Yeah. So, if they're gonna close down for this little virus, what are they gonna do when the mark of the beast comes?
Shit.
Dude, that was heavy.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it wasn't just the accent. I loved that guy. In my mind, I was like, all right, legit.
So we're going to church next weekend?
You know what I mean? That was a heavy philosophical question.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't not be like, whoa, this guy means it. This guy's in this. Like, this guy is living these words. And you start thinking, it's like terrifying in that second, because churches are supposed to stay open no matter what.
Yeah. Right?
No matter what. And could you imagine, like, when the apocalypse hits and like you're running for shelter and you run to a church and like, closed.
Yeah.
We're closed. Wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it just like, it just played heavy. It just like hit. It just hit really hard hearing those words said that way.
Yeah.
Right? And so then he starts talking. Then it goes into the section about his wife, right? His hot wife.
Of course he has that voice. He has that accent.
Come on. The accent she wants him to have. Yes.
Yeah.
He has that accent. So they're talking about how her family didn't like him or the idea that they were getting married. And it didn't sound like the mother was around, R.I.P. I don't know if she is E.I.P., but if so, R.I.P. Right?
Okay.
So, but she had aunts that didn't come to the wedding. Her dad went to the wedding because it's her dad. And he, I love you and I'll support you no matter what. But the aunts didn't go to the wedding because their whole thing was like, well, he's a charlatan. He's a fake. How can you be marrying him? This is an embarrassment to the family. We're not coming.
Was she white American or was she?
She also has a cool ass accent.
That's the accent you want me to have?
It's kind of the accent I want you to have. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll let you hear her accent.
Okay.
I think it's the accent you want to have.
Okay.
So then they're talking about that. And the pastor, and they still don't like me. And she's like, yeah, they still don't like him. And he's like, but that's okay. Because, all right, what did he then say? I'll give you one guess on what he said, and then I'll tell you what he said. So again, I'll set it up for you, right? Again, it was the parents, the family didn't like him, didn't come to the wedding. And this is like years later, and he's like, and they still don't like me. She goes, yes, they still don't like him. And he goes, but that's okay because
I forgive them and I have you.
Okay, so here we go. He goes, that's okay because I don't like them either. And it's like, whoa, Pastor, whoa. Good Lord, Pastor, what just happened there? Like you're damn it, dude. I was like all on your side. Like now you're making me look bad, dude. That's so that's another thing. It's like, is he allowed to not like them?
I don't know.
I think he didn't say anything about forgiveness.
Yeah.
You know, at least it was edited that way. Maybe he did go on to say, but I forgive them.
Yeah.
But I don't think he did.
I mean, that just because he doesn't like them doesn't mean he has hate in his heart either, does it?
I mean, you can be neutral. You can
Yeah.
be like, I don't like them. Like, I don't dislike them,
Yeah.
but I don't like them.
Yeah.
Right?
So could he be saying, like, I mean,
Yeah. But, like, what is disliking a person, though? Like, I mean, honestly, like, not in that defined way that I just said it. Like, you know, it's zero because, like, you're saying I just don't like them.
yeah.
But what is disliking actually for humans?
Like, I don't want to be around that person.
It's active.
Yeah.
It's an active thing, right? Like, especially the way that it plays out, the way that people play it out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I tend not to dislike people, so I don't really know how people play out their dislike.
Yeah.
But I am disliked very often, and it's fucking mean.
Yeah, I mean, you want to bring harm towards those people at some, like, if you're
Right?
actively disliking them,
Where it's like,
which is why I don't, like you said, like, I don't actively dislike people because I feel like that's a form of control. Like, you're taking my time and my energy, and because I don't like you, I'm not going to give you that time and energy. So you're dead. You're dead to me.
yeah. And I'm often going like, well, if you don't like me, why don't you just leave me alone? You know, it's like, goodness gracious, just leave me alone. Like, why are you trying to hurt me? You know?
Yeah.
That's so. But in real life, that's what it is. I mean, these people that like quote unquote didn't like me in comedy and like actively trying to hurt me and get people to be against me and all these other things. Where it's like, if you really don't like me, stop thinking about me. Like, do yourself a service and just stop thinking about me.
Yeah.
Don't let me consume any amount of your life outside of actually having to deal with me.
Yeah.
That would suck. I hate that you're in that prison.
Yeah.
Stop disliking me. If you're gonna deal with me this much, just stop disliking me. You know?
Yeah.
It was just it is a ridiculous thing. And then which brings me to another thing that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about how I was watching another YouTube video where the guy was talking about when you try to better yourself, the world starts to immediately resist, especially your immediate surroundings, and people start to kind of come at you for that, you know, and try to get you to like, oh, why are you doing that? You're silly for even trying. It's like, and then every failure that you have along the way, there's always somebody to remind you, see, you're just like us.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. You know, it's just always in the ether. So if you look at it like that, right, then he should be forgiving these people.
Right.
Right? Because these people are, coming at him in that way. They're like, he's, again, if what he's doing is noble, if his pursuit is noble, and he's just out there trying to heal the people through the Lord, and they dislike him, well, that's because they don't want to make the effort to search within themselves to see if they have the power to heal through the Lord.
Right. Yeah. I feel like every religious figure or every like great world leader that is also, you know, praise be to God, has some amazing words for how they don't dislike people that are doing them harm.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's typically those people have somebody out there doing them harm. You know, I'm thinking of like the Gandhi or the Martin Luther King or the what's his name, South African guy. Like they all have like
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. Like, you know, like they've got these like deep messages of love and how they don't dislike anybody, even though these like people have done these horrible things to them. You know?
And it's and Nelson Mandela was put in prison for 17 years. You have a bunch of cackling cunts that don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Nelson Mandela would forgive them.
Yeah, he would.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then he goes, so one of the things that they said about the reason why the family didn't like him is like, oh, he's just going to try to take your money.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you know, the wife was like, what money? I didn't have any money at the time. I was working at a bank.
Yeah.
Right. And then the pastor goes on to say, you know, through edit, you know, they came back to it. The pastor then goes on to say, no, I didn't take a single one of her $2,000 that she had to her name.
Right.
Didn't take but over the course of our relationship, you know, but over time, I've given her hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you stunting, Pastor? Like, what are you doing here? Because that's a cool ass accent to be saying that.
You know, like, how happy is your marriage?
It was. I don't know. It's just like, well, she seemed happy. You know, she has a cool ass accent.
Yeah.
You know, but it's I don't know. I don't know where I stand on him still.
Yeah, well, because he obviously like he's taken care of her and shown her love and given her things, right?
Yeah.
So, and they all come from Cuba. Is this where they all got this accent from?
I would think so.
So, like, he's taking her to America and showing her this better life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you could very easily imagine how her aunts were jealous of this and wanted, you know, this is like, yeah, he very easily could be a shady dude. And even looking at him now, you're like, he still might be a shady dude, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, he might be shady, but, like, he's doing right by her, it seems.
Yeah,
but
she has a happy life.
Yeah, but the jealousy from other people, you could be like, you can get it, because they can't find themselves a snake oil salesman and move to America, you know? Like, it's like, that's not an option for me. So it makes me a little mad that that's your option.
It's like, are you kidding me? You can't find a charming, charismatic con artist to change your life? You're the loser.
Yeah.
And that's also funny to think of it from a standpoint of like, you just don't want to look inside yourself to see if you have the power to heal through God.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you could also like see if you're good at ping pong, you know, just like go try something, you know, just anything that makes you not somebody that's trying to tear other people down. Yeah. Right. It's it's pretty insane. You know, we're a little pressed for time once again. I apologize to all of the listeners, but you know, we get behind. You know, we're trying to live this life, and we gotta be out there existing so that we have something to actually talk about.
Yeah, you know? I've been practicing this accent. I need a lot of time.
Need a lot of time, man. You know, we don't even have time to water our succulents. You know how we live. We're living like this. This is how we live. But yeah, we're still trying to, you know, give you the best of us. Also, check out our Patreon, 2 Jack Bros on Patreon. And, you know, find us on Instagram and what else? Twitter and Facebook, all that. Just do all this stuff. And, Ansley, what do you got here? So you got some notes.
I do. Well, I wanted to tell you about the history of the vibrator.
Okay.
Do you know where the vibrator first came into?
From the dick. I mean, it's dick related, right?
It just made me think of somebody putting like a mechanical thing that vibrates on somebody's dick. Yeah. Be like, eureka! Like,
it was probably like back in the day, a woman just shook it. Hey, hold on, don't move. You know, okay, so I would have to guess that the first vibrator had something to do with like ancient Greece. I feel like it's going to be like, you know, because I do still believe that there was an ancient advanced civilization.
And they had to be doing each other good.
Just like it had something you crank, you know what I mean? I think they had something. I think they think sex was big to them. Yeah. You know, it's, yeah.
But do you really need something to, like, do you need it to vibrate? I guess this is that it's vibrating, right? Because this isn't like just a dildo. This isn't just something we found to stick in there.
This was your question.
Well, I need you to clarify what.
Well, how about you fucking clarify what a vibrator is? This is your question. To me, a vibrator is something that vibrates, something that has, something that is at least powered some way to do a function that a normal penis doesn't do.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea if they had a Greece.
Wait, were you just literally asking me the question?
You think I came with all the research? Dude, bro, science.
Was that part of your research? Were you still doing research? It's like, I want to tell you about the vibrator, but first, do you know when the first vibrator was? Help me complete this research real quick before I present it to you. Okay. So
there was a lady,
let's put an asterisk next to that.
There was a lady, I believe her name was Milnes or something similar to that.
Okay.
And she wrote a book about vibrators in like 1999. And like this was really the first time anybody sat down to write a book about vibrators, you know? Yeah. And in her book, she believes that Greece and those ancient cultures had vibrators.
Yeah.
But now this new lady has come out who's critiquing her work and saying that she doesn't think she got the history of the vibrator quite right. So she thinks, and like her big thing in her book was that doctors, back in like the 50s or the 30s, 40s, 50s, when like people got hysteria.
Yeah.
And like you locked them up, and hysteria was just like I don't. It's kind of seemed like I don't want that person around. They're hysterical. Like I don't know. It was like a headache, cramps, like feeling faint, like having a fever, like anything seemed to be hysteria.
So Trump supporters.
Yeah, in hysteria.
Yeah.
So she.
But that's what that is now. It's like I don't want that person around me. They're a Trump supporter.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like very much that now.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my God, can you send them to a place? They're a Trump supporter.
Yeah. So she said in hospitals, they'd put these women in hospitals for their hysteria. And so one of the treatments that she said that they gave to these women was for doctors to use vibrators on them.
Hand crank? You were about to crank that.
Yeah,
you were cranking that.
Yeah, the pictures I saw were a bunch of hand cranks.
Yeah. They were like whisks.
Yeah.
They just put a whisk inside a woman.
Yeah. And, but then this new lady has come out because she's been like, we knew about orgasms and we knew something about female genitalia, and the Greeks knew about female genitalia. So I think she's like, I don't think doctors would have been like doing this to women and not understanding that they were causing an orgasm. And she doesn't think that people so naive
I think
about it.
That's the reason they were doing it. They were like, woman, you're crazy, you need to come. you're not coming out, because I know when I'm feeling like you are looking, I need to come. So we're just gonna like give you a medicinal coming. Hey, let's make this woman come.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hold this woman now, she needs to come.
That's what they're saying happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this lady disagrees.
So she's saying the ancient Greeks did not have the first
lady
vibrators?
said that they did.
Yeah.
She's like, but then the second lady's like, no. See, because she's translating stories that are like their stories from back then, like not their text of actual living.
So
it's like, and of course in their stories, they were getting it on with vibrators.
So how is this woman is saying, oh, no, well, that's just how they're remembering it.
No, that's like, because back then, like, people, like, the autobiography wasn't, like, so common. Like, people weren't like, this is my life, and this is how I live. But people wrote a lot of stories about, gods and things and blah, blah, blah.
So you think they would... So she's saying that the people that were writing these stories about the gods and the ancients and the way the people lived, they were throwing in vibrators to make it seem like they were getting it on more.
Yeah, just
they were
for
like,
the hell of it.
They're listen, when people read this going forward, they're gonna know we were fucking. Listen, we weren't. But
No.
they're gonna definitely think that we were fucking. Listen, I'm gonna put a vibrator here. I'm gonna put a vibrator here. Like this Zeus is gonna be a vibrator at one point.
These are like romance novels. Like, like if you read a romance novel, it's like that's not how everybody's having sex. Like everybody's not sleeping with his dick inside of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but these are romance novels written like a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they're making up vibrators. That's insane.
Know. Yeah,
like maybe there was. I mean, just even now, like I think if you went somewhere and you asked like the average person in like the Midwest or somewhere, or just like I don't think the average American even knows like how advanced vibrators even are.
They stop their crank.
You know what I mean?
About my honey, the crank.
So you could go ask a person like, what do you like? What does a vibrator look like to you? You know, and then you show them one of the fucking freaky 3-prong shocker shits that happen now. I think their heads would explode.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. This lady is just discrediting it with no substantiation whatsoever because these people wrote about it, and that's the only way that we know about the way people lived back in these times was because their lifestyles were written about. Like when I was reading that book, The History of the Common the history, the other side of history is what it was called. And it was about the people in history that weren't like politicians, war heroes, gods and kings, like the everyday person. That was based off of stories. Mm-hmm. That was based off of a lot of, what am I, which one is fiction?
Fiction is not true. NonFiction is true.
It was based off a lot of nonfiction. The fiction.
Yeah.
It was based off fiction is fake.
Fiction is fake.
Okay, so it's based off a lot of fiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. Where else do you get that information from? Is what I'm saying.
Well, she did. So the woman that's discrediting the original woman, she did go through examples of like this treatment for hysteria, like why she doesn't think
Treatment.
Why she doesn't agree with the first woman's, like how she got to her conclusions. And she said that she did reference 5 books, but she went through and talked about how 3 of those references weren't legit. And then, but so they didn't get in much detail about ancient Greece and like Rome and stuff. But
yeah.
So I, maybe she has some facts for it. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. So what else you got?
Did you know that we're set to execute the first woman put to death on federal death row on Tuesday?
Right, so let's close up right there. Hell yeah. No, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I guess people have been put to death in states, but not.
You mean women have been put to death in state courts?
I think so. I'm not 100%. There's never been a woman, but this is the first woman on federal death row.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that we would probably be executing more women if we lowered the rim?
No.
I just think, do you think maybe women would have an easier time getting executed if we lowered the rim? That's all I'm asking.
No.
# lower the rim. So yeah.
So this is Lisa Montgomery. And she is I was like, oh, she's this lady, but I think she's a different lady. So she's one of these ladies that lured somebody over, catfished somebody over with like over the internet, and then strangled them and cut the baby out of them.
They were like, listen, if you can't under the supposition of banging a stranger, go to someone's house. I don't want to live in that world. We got to kill this bitch.
No, she brought another woman over.
She killed a woman?
She killed a woman and cut the baby out of her.
Damn. Wait, she catfished a woman, a pregnant woman.
Yeah, because they both shared a love for rat terriers.
Yeah.
And they were both in a chat group called Ratter Chatter.
Yeah.
And she had lured the pregnant lady over to come look at some of her quote unquote puppies that she had. Because they shared a love of dogs.
What? Wait, why did you make me think she lured her over for sex at the beginning?
I just said catfished.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything about like come over and.
No.
Okay. Okay. How do you get a person to come over? I don't know how to get people to come over. I just keep offering sex.
I know who comes over.
I think so. Oh,
Sidney,
fuck.
Stop that.
Fuck. Well, how are people getting people over?
Puppies.
We got to get a puppy. Got to get a puppy. So, yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
And they found her, like, she, like, had the baby when they found her, like, 2 days later. Like, she had, when they looked at her research on the internet, like, she had researched how to do C-sections.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Can you imagine if you're that kid? Like, that kid got given back to his dad.
Yeah.
To be raised.
Wait a second. The kid lived?
The kid lived. The baby lived.
What?
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
That's very the lady died, I assume?
She strangled the lady and then cut the baby out.
Wow. First of all, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Right? Second of all, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. That is super impressive. Mm-hmm. Because it takes a long time to strangle a person. First of all.
She used a rope.
Yeah. She hung her?
No, she used a rope around her neck.
Yeah. Which still is going to take longer than you think.
Yeah.
Right? And then for the person to die, at least. And then how much time do you have after a person dies to get a baby out of the stomach alive?
Well, the face is still going to talk to you we figured this out last podcast, right?
Oh, no, that's if you cut a head off.
Oh, true.
It's very different.
So this face is going to probably talk to you for a long time.
Well, no,
Connected to the body? No.
It happens, see, when you cut a head off, it happens so fast that your brain doesn't have time to realize that it's dead.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it's
Choking.
like, it's still like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
But when you choke, it's a slow, agonizing death. Okay. It's like your brain has a lot of time to realize that it's being murdered.
Yeah.
Right? And which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Right? But she also got that baby out of there.
Yeah.
You know, alive.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't have been. That was a gruesome sight.
Oh yeah, people were like, so you're gonna have a lot of people on both sides of this, whether this woman should be put to death or not. And the people that are saying that she should be put to death are like, you should have seen the crime scene. Like the police or like her relative or somebody was like, if you could have seen what I saw when I went there, you would be like, yes, this lady should be put to death. Okay,
I'm not saying this lady shouldn't be put to death. However, that I don't think that is a fair way to carry, because like, it's not going to be pretty. This particular type. Here's what I'm saying. She had to get it out fast. She had to have that thought in her mind, and that's why I said it had to be gruesome, because she had to do it fast. And I doubt she had the type of super sharp tools that they have in a doctor's office. Even if she had like a really good sharp knife, I mean, she's rushing to get this to happen. Like, she probably, looked up like how long babies can live without the fucking mother's oxygen.
You think it's that short? I feel like you'd have a good 5 minutes.
I even
or
like
more.
5 minutes is not a lot of time to cut into a human body to remove a human body.
Listen, we have different opinions of our skills of cutting into human bodies, apparently.
And I butcher meat. You know what I mean? Like, I think I have a better perspective on what it takes to get inside something. Like, it's not that easy. It's and no, I don't think you have a lot of time. I don't like if a person, I don't know. I'm speculating, right? But I don't know, because the baby's surviving off of the. So the baby's surviving off of the oxygen from the umbilical cord, right?
And blood.
And if the umbilical cord stops providing the oxygen, right, then the baby's in a situation where it will suffocate.
True.
Right? Because it will then start trying to breathe the ambient atmosphere, and it's in.
Like, breathes through its blood and its belly, though. It's not like it's going to all of a sudden start taking a breath.
Yeah, but how quickly does that get burned up when you're a developing fetus?
I don't know.
See, it's all speculation.
Yeah,
it's all speculation. Man, you should have had some answers. Don't come at me with these fucking speculations.
Well, so, I feel like because I recently listened to that other thing about whether a person, all these people on death row, the lady talked to them, and whether they, the more gruesome the crimes people do, typically the more gruesome their childhoods were. Yeah. So somebody got into how this girl was raised. Yeah. It was like, oh God, like give
it a quick rundown. Let's hear.
So it was her and her half sister. She had a mom who had the dad died. The mom was never a good person. She was her and her half sister, and then people came to take people out of this house. Like, they were already being tape on the mouth, beat, thrown out in the snow naked, and they so there was a picture. Her half sister was this adorable little kid. She was this wide-eyed, red-haired, the kid, the tip. It was the redheaded, skinny chick from a TV show.
So she was a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah. So
she wasn't attractive. She couldn't even be helped by our minister.
No. So yeah. So they take the cute little girl out of there, and then she's left, and the dad dies, or there's a new boyfriend, and then they beat her, they rape her, they start letting the electrician, if they need something done to their house, they let the electrician diddle her so he'll come do work on the house. That's
what I'm saying. She knows how to get people over. That's how you that right. That's why when I hear catfish, that's how you get people over.
Yeah.
Right. It's I didn't get that was. I apologize, but keep going.
I mean, it was basically just more and more of that. It was just this woman's been used and abused by everybody in her house. And when the mom got divorced, and it was written that the boyfriend was abusing her and stuff, the judge was like, you shouldn't do that anymore. Yeah, but didn't take her out of the house,
So again, I don't think she was well, right?
Yeah.
And I think I can kind of see her logic to a certain degree, because this woman went through all of this, and she wanted to love something and be loved back.
Oh, so she had her own husbands, and she had her own kids. She had 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when she got her 4th kid, she got sterilized. But then she got a new husband, and she kept telling him that she was pregnant, and they were going to get divorced, and she was they speculated that she was worried he was going to take her kids away from her by proving that she was crazy because she didn't have a baby, because she was saying she was pregnant. So she went and got herself a baby so she could keep her kids.
Man, so that was relevant. Wish I knew that earlier. You know?
Okay.
So again, this circle back, like I understand the desperation that this woman was under even more now.
Yeah.
Like this woman needed a kid to keep her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And again, she needed the baby. The stealing the baby is the thing. That's going to be, it's a gruesome thing. It's going to be gruesome.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
I mean, you've seen a baby cut out of a person.
Yeah,
it's
gonna, and I've seen it done well.
Yeah.
It's fucking gruesome. I've seen it done by a professional.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. And, you know, I could see, like, seeing how hard that is to do and, like, I don't think there's something that a person without training would have a grasp on. But even still, it's like, stealing a baby's gruesome.
Yeah.
You know, and she needed a fetus.
Yeah.
To keep her. That is wild. That is man, you can make a movie out of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't be a feel good movie.
Wouldn't be a feel. Wouldn't even be. Wouldn't. Could it be a wacky comedy?
I don't know.
That's wild. That is a wild circumstance to put yourself in, and then act on it.
Yeah.
Right. And then because those other people, they were like, got her. She fucking crazied out, pretend to be pregnant, and now we got her. We fucking got her. And then she was like, no, the fuck you don't.
Yeah.
You know, and she went and did her thing. And then she's like, show up all bloody with it. See? I had a baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crazy plan.
Yeah.
It's a crazy plan.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I am sorry. We have never ended on such a weird, gruesome end like that before. You know, this is like, she fucked up our feel good comedy podcast.
I'll give you some good news from Pakistan.
All right.
They just outlawed the 2-finger virginity test that they used to do to rape victims. I don't know. It got weird tonight.
It did get weird. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, did they find 100% non-virgins?
I don't know.
I mean, because doesn't the 2-finger virginity test make them not virgins technically anymore?
I mean, yeah, and that's like, they're like, this is medically nonsense. Like, what are you people doing? You're just sticking your fingers up chicks.
Yeah, it's like the 1-stroke virgin test.
Yeah.
I'm just it's like, yes, I'm sticking my penis. It's just 1 stroke. I'll be able to tell them that she was a virgin with 1 stroke.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is that? Are they searching for tightness? Are they looking for the hymen?
They're looking for the hymen.
But are they like, how do you test?
It never said they were doctors. I think it's just the dude at the courthouse is like, you got raped? No way, dude. Let me see.
But so my question though is, how do you first test to be like, okay, so that's what a hymen feels like inside there?
You can't. That's why it's like a nonsense test. But I guess they assume, like, if you really were raped, I'm not going to feel anything. So if I come in here and I feel you, I don't know.
Well, because like any testing to find out what it feels like to have
the hymen,
that's rape.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they stopped double raping rape victims.
It's like, remember how when you were young and we touched your hymen? We're gonna see if it's still there. It's like, man, that's wild.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Pakistan has some crazy stuff going on there still. I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I can tell you were down a rabbit hole.
We didn't get to the bottom of my hole. Just
we're not getting to the bottom of this hole. We're staying out of this hole. All right, let me find these shout outs real quick so I can get us out of this hole. We're printing this. This episode was weird. I want you to see how weird it gets sometimes. And yeah, you know, because sometimes it gets weird and we're like, we can't, we're going to record another one. But I think this was like weird and on the line enough. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what people say. I don't know. Shout out to Mike Butler, Mike Levy, Liz Bot, Doc, Kevin Stevens, Julian from Canada and his wife, Meg.says.so, Kevin Lau, Mary Jo Butterly, what up, Nicole, Raj, Janelle, Courtney, Rick, Andrew Pace, Keith Butts, Kyle Hancock, Erica Daniels, Levi Mercer, Justin Masabi, Ezekiel Ellis, damn it, Logan, Ryan, Roger Down, Joe, Rob, Joe Francis, and his girlfriend's company, Saved by the Reef. They're probably married now. Who knows? Maybe they're not even together. Who knows? But I hope she still has her company. TJ James, our man down under, holding it down. Under Nick Cupsey and his 2 books, Lost in the Mail, and The 5 People You Meet in Wawa, This Old Guy, Chris Bruno, Kevin McGran, Graham Hoffman, Chris Tucker, Derek Towson, who is my brother. We have a different last name, and I promise I'll explain. Sean Dowdy, Guy Patterson, Brian Bacher, Toscani Rodriguez, and our man, Sean the Boner King, King of Boners. Man, thank you so much for listening. Sorry for the short episode. We'll we love it. I'm not going to make any false promises. Good luck.